morning, distinguished ladies and gentlemen of the media. I want to thank you very much for honoring our invitation at such short notice. We deeply appreciate the partnership we continue to enjoy from you. You were here only yesterday to cover one event, and you are here again this morning. So on behalf of the Good Board, I want to say a very big thank you to you. Today, we have called you to share information about what may pass as the most elaborate gold smuggling syndicate we have uncovered since the establishment of the Ghana Gold Board. And we are doing this because, as we all know, the Gold Board was set up not only to trade gold, not only to buy gold, spot gold, generate foreign exchange for the country, but one of the most important mandates we have been given is to wage a fight against the illegal gold trading and gold smuggling menace. And this we have been doing from day one when the Ghana Gold Board Act was signed by His Excellency the President into law on the 2nd of April 2025. And we do this work in a spirit of transparency and accountability so that we can carry the public along through your various esteemed platforms and get them to collaborate with us, support us in this endeavor, because Gold Board cannot do this work alone. And it is in that light that every now and then we invite you to brief you about successes or challenges of the fight, arrest, seizures that have been made, and so on. And we also do that in the spirit of accountability. Because if you do not know what we are doing, the arrests we are making, the seizures we are making, then you are incapacitated from holding us accountable about how we handle these cases in the national interest. And so this is why we are here today. And as I already indicated, this case we are briefing you on is a very, very, very serious case. We've been working on it for a number of weeks now. Kept it under wraps because of the sensitive nature. Because as I said, it involves a very elaborate, complicated gold smuggling syndicate that we've been tracking for a long time. And by the grace of God and thanks to a patriotic Ghanaian, we have been able to make some significant progress in getting the perpetrators to book. So on the 26th of August 2025, we got intel through one of our hotlines from a patriotic citizen of the land to the effect that some foreigners were in cahoots with certain licensed traders of the gold board. What they were doing basically is that they give funds to these licensed traders of the gold board. These are not unlicensed traders, these are licensed traders of the gold board who are given money by these foreigners for the purpose of buying gold for and on their behalf, which gold they pick up from Takwa through various Ghanaian couriers. These are couriers that they themselves have recruited to pick up the gold, which is bought for and on their behalf by their licensed gold board traders in the area. And so upon getting the tip off, we deployed our task force to the area. We mounted a research around the Winneba Junction. We had the number plate details of the vehicle that was dispatched on this very occasion to go and take delivery of the gold from Takwa What they do is that they take delivery of the gold at Takwa from our licensed trader, bring it to Accra, aggregate it, and then they smuggle the gold across the border. They smuggle it across the Togo border, across the Lugu border, for their illegal gold trade business which they have established outside the borders of our country. So on the 27th of August, the following day, our Gold Board Task Force was successful in arresting the said vehicle, which was carrying one of the couriers. I'm saying one of the couriers because the couriers were from our intelligence 3 and not 1. We're lucky to get one of them by name Abdul Razak, and Abdul Razak is here. Yes, come close so that we can see. So this is Abdul Razak, a young Ghanaian guy who was arrested on that fateful day, the morning of 27th of August 2025. And when he was arrested, we found in his possession 3 packs of a substance which we suspected to be gold. So the substances were seized and sent to the Gold Board Assay Laboratory for the necessary test. Upon assay, it was discovered that the substances were indeed gold, and they had an average purity of 92.5%, and a net weight, a gross weight of 9.2 kg and a net weight of 8.5 kg. And so, per the price of gold at the time, the gold was valued at almost 10.2 million Ghana cedis. In today's terms, it will be far higher because, as you may be aware, the price of gold has gone up significantly in recent time. But as at the time the seizure was made, the gold was worth more than 10.2 million Ghana cedis. In old Ghana cedi terms, that is more than 100 billion. Yeah. So we are talking about significant funds. Upon interrogation, it was discovered that this young man, Abdul Razak, was recruited by his cousin by name Abdul Karim to do this work for a fee of 500 Ghana cedis per trip, and that they've been doing this work for this Abdul Karim actively in the last 2-3 months, and have, according to him, he may be lying, he may be saying the truth, they've been to Takwa, to this same location, this same licensed gold trader of the Gold Board for gold on about 4 occasions. As a result of these findings, the Gold Board again embarked on an operation to arrest the said licensed gold trader who operates under the name NK Benak Enterprise. It's a sole proprietorship, and the sole proprietor is called Bernard Nkrumah. The name of the business is NK Benak Enterprise. Mr. Bernard Nkrumah is a gentleman who stands next to the deputy CEO. So he was arrested together with some of his workers. Upon interrogation, we realized that some of the workers were not directly involved in this whole smuggling, so they were granted bail. But he, together with Abdul Razak, were kept in custody for 24 hours for Bernard and 48 hours for Abdul Razak. Another arrest was also made as a result of findings from their interrogation, which was the arrest of a gentleman called Arim Yao. And Arim Yao is also here, and they were, all the 3 of them were arraigned before court for the first time on the 5th of September 2025. Now, what we have uncovered so far indicates, I say so far because investigations are still ongoing, indicates that since June 2025, a company by name Rafmoh Gold Limited. Rafmoh is spelled R-A-F-M-O-H. Rafmoh Gold Limited. If you check from the Registrar General's Department, you realize that there are many companies that bear the name Rafmoh. So they have Rafmoh Jewelry, but in this case we are talking about Rafmoh Gold Limited. The shareholder is the same, a gentleman by name Rafiq Mohammed Nandoli. And from the findings of our investigation so far, what suspects in custody have told us, it does appear that the shareholder of the company by name Rafiq Mohammed Nandoli, Rafmoh for short, who is also called Salam, is the mastermind and sponsor of this whole gold smuggling syndicate we've been tracking for a couple of months now. The company was engaged in gold trading under the defunct PMMC regime. But upon the passage of the Gold Board Act, when foreigners were banned from directly purchasing gold from the local markets, they changed their style, their methods, and the way they operate, and decided to hide behind licensed gold traders to buy gold. And we believe that the gold they buy is smuggled out of the country per the intelligence we have so far. And we discovered that in the period of 2 months, per what suspects in custody have told us, they bought nothing less than 100 kilograms of gold. 100 kilograms of gold would be worth more than 120 million Ghana cedis within this period. This Rafmoh Gold Limited is not licensed. None of their entities are licensed by the Gold Board to be able to buy gold. And even though the one who supplied the gold is licensed, his terms and conditions that governs his operations as a licensed tier 2 buyer don't also allow him to sell gold to foreigners or to an unlicensed entity. That license only allows him to buy gold and supply that gold to a licensed aggregator of the Gold Board. And there are some key people who are worthy of mention in this case. One is an Indian by name Afsar Putalan. And this Afsar Putalan, we understand, is a key officer of Rafmoh Gold. Per the intelligence we have received so far, and from investigations, it does appear that he is the manager of Rafmoh Gold's gold trade interest in the Tarkwa enclave. So he was the one who was directly dealing with our licensed trader, Bernard Nkrumah, who runs the business NK Bernard Enterprise. And this Afsar was actively working with Abdul Karim, who operates more or less as an accountant and a transporter. He is the one who recruits these young guys as couriers and sends them to Benak. And we believe other gold traders, not just Benak. But like I said, we're still investigating, and so we would not like to put those details out. So they go and carry this, and they go with public transport, Toyota Haze and all that. They carry it, put it in their bags, they come to Accra, and then this Abdul Karim goes to them at Newtown in Accra here, or sends them to come to where he stays around Ashaman, Lashibi area, and then he collects the gold for it on behalf of Rafmoh, and through other couriers they are able to take the gold out. So Afsar Putalan is one of the suspects that we are investigating in this case, and so is Abdul Karim. And there is a third one who is the brother of Abdul Karim called Sadiq Abubakar. And so far, investigations show that he is senior, not only by age, not only in age to Abdul Karim, but also in terms of the role he plays in the Rafmoh gold smuggling syndicate. And that he's the one who handles all the transport interest of Rafmoh and works with people like Arim Yao to take the gold out. Like I said, Rafmoh itself has a shareholder called Rafiq Mohammed Nandoli, who goes by the name Salam. And so his real name is not what he's called. If you follow the real name, you will never know that he's the one who is the mastermind of everything. As I speak to you, we have these 3 suspects in custody. They were first arraigned, as I've already indicated, before the High Court on the 5th of September and remanded into NIB custody for 1 week. They reappeared on the yes. Okay, so the first one was 29th of August when they were remanded for 1 week, and then they reappeared on the 5th of September and were remanded for another 1 week. But on the 12th of September, they were all admitted to bail on the following conditions: a bail sum of 50 million Ghana cedis, 2 sureties, one of which must be justified in landed property, mandatory reporting to the Gold Board investigative team every other day for the next 3 weeks. So this is the decision of the High Court. They are still in custody because I suspect they've not met the conditions yet, but that is what the High Court has ruled, and until that changes, nobody can vary that. But 4 key suspects in this case are at large, and they are the main reason why we call this press conference. Number 1 is the transporter and accounts officer of RAFMOR called Abdul Karim. The second is Afsar Putalam, the Indian who runs a lot of the gold businesses of RAFMOR and was responsible for the Atakwa business and dealt directly with Abdul Razak and Benak. And then there is Sadiq Abubakar, and then there is the Chief Supremo himself, Rafiq Mohammed Nandole K. Salam. Other directors and shareholders of the company are also wanted, and so we are still pursuing them. And it is our hope that you, our friends in the media, and members of the general public who have information about these 4 individuals I have mentioned, will share that information about their whereabouts to assist us to apprehend them, to aid in investigations. At this stage, I would want the media team to project the images of these 4 individuals on the screen. And by the way, we have arrest warrants for each of them. They've all been declared wanted by the police. I think that the one that has all the 4 is the better. Yes. We have an arrest warrant for all of them. They wanted for this lady. Completed. And so the police is aware. They are wanted by the police and the Ghana Gold Board. And so if you have information, any information about their whereabouts, you can report same to the nearest police station or to the Gold Board head office, or you can call any of these 2 lines you see on the screen: 0800 444 653 or 0800 444 654. And we have a bounty of 1 million Ghana cedis on each of them, out of all the 4, on each of them. So can we see the single files now? If you can zoom it out a bit for it to be more legible. Yes. So this is Abdul Karim. I was speaking extensively about him. That is his picture. Very clear. And we are calling on the general public to, in the spirit of patriotism, share any information they may have about this individual with the Gold Board or with the Ghana Police Service. He's wanted for gold smuggling, illegal gold trading, among other gold-related offences. And there is a bounty of 1 million Ghana cedis on him. That which simply means that anyone who gives us information that leads to his arrest will be given 1 million Ghana cedis by the Gold Board. And we see the next one. Yeah, this one we don't have his picture, but he's a brother of Said Abdul Karim. He's also called Sadiq Abubakar. His age is there, his nationality is there. So anyone who has information about the whereabouts can also share.
via the numbers we have indicated on the screen or with the nearest police station. The next one, please. This is the Mohammed Afsal Mutala. Yes. All his details, his age, his nationality, everything is there. And we have cause to believe that these individuals might have fled the country. They might have been in, they may be in Cote d'Ivoire, Dubai, or Togo, and so on. We are tracking them. And so if you have information of them or any of their close associates that can help us to get to them, kindly share with us. We are working with Interpol as well on this matter because, as I said, it's a very serious matter. The next person. Yes, and this is the shareholder and director, one of the shareholders and directors of Rafmore Limited, by name Mohammed Mandeli Rafik Elias Salah. He's in his 40s, and we understand that he's an Indian, and he speaks English, speaks Indian and other languages, and so if you have information about his whereabouts, kindly share that. Now, to wrap up, if you can now turn your cameras here. Even as we pursue these key suspects to bring them to justice, a number of actions have already been taken by the group. First of all, we have closed down the business of NK Benak Enterprise. All his trading offices have been closed down. Once we are done with this, a special compliance notice in the form of a press statement will be issued. And we want to make the point that the general public, all licensed gold buyers, all licensed miners are to take note that the entity called NK Benak Enterprise and its sole proprietor Bernard Ekron have been closed down by the gold board. They no longer have any lawful authorization to trade in gold, as their license has been suspended forthwith. And so if you have any business whatsoever to do with them relative to gold trading, you must cease from that forthwith. Rafmore Gold, from our investigations, have already closed down their gold trading offices on the Osu Oxford Street. However, other businesses of theirs, like Rafmore Jewelry, located at Palace Mall, were still being operated. From the findings of our investigations, we have cause to believe that this business is yet another conduit for their gold smuggling activities. And so the Gold Board has closed down Rafmore Gold Jewelry. And we are aggressively, as I've already said, pursuing the shareholders and directors. All these persons I've mentioned, the 3 suspects already in custody and the 4 persons at large, have all been charged for dealing in gold without authorization, for facilitating gold smuggling, for smuggling gold, for transporting gold without authorization, and for attempting to smuggle gold, among other charges. And this is a case that the Deputy Attorney General of the Republic is directly involved in its prosecution. Attorney General and the DPP are all working with us closely to make sure that we present a watertight case in the interest of the Republic and in the interest of justice. Now, I'll conclude with a very important lead that may help whistleblowers, patriotic Ghanaians who may want to help us in apprehending these suspects. And it is that these guys are not just involved in gold trading. If you look for them in the gold trade industry or Spectrum, you may not find them. What our investigations have so far revealed is that they are involved in all manner of businesses. And one of the businesses they are involved in is an illegal FX, how should I say it? An illegal foreign exchange business. So you see all these alajis all over the place, the black market foreign exchange business in this country. They are key stakeholders in that. They have various people that they do that with. And these guys take CDs from people who need dollars, and they, here I'm talking about Mohammed Nanduli Rafiq Salam, working through Sadiq Abubakar and Abdul Karim, provide dollars to their accomplices who are involved in this illegal foreign exchange trade. And then they settle their customers. They settle some through Momo, and they settle some through what is called in Ghana today as Hawala. So the reason why they do this gold business and where they make the money from is that when they buy gold illegally and they smuggle the gold, they leave the dollars in Dubai. And so if you need dollars in Ghana, they tell you that we have dollars in Dubai. And you can get somebody in Dubai to pick the dollars there whilst they take your CDs here. That is how they do this business. And so if you are somebody involved in this money changing business, or you know people, then you ask about them, you may get useful information that you may be able to share with us that can lead to the apprehension. We have a lot of suspects that we have arrested and who are cooperating with us. And as I said, this is the topmost priority of the Gold Board. We are working with Interpol, we are working with all relevant state institutions like the Signals Bureau, like the NSB, like the National Security, FIC. They are all doing a yeoman's job in assisting us to unravel the facts so that same can be put before a court of competent jurisdiction. And so, ladies and gentlemen, we have taken the pain to take you through all these facts to reinforce our commitment to the fight against the illegal gold trading and gold smuggling menace. We are determined and resolved to enforce the Gold Board Act and other laws of our land without fear or favor. We are determined to end the era of unchecked gold smuggling and restore integrity to Ghana's gold trade. So we would like to urge all gold buyers who are licensed by the Gold Board, all licensed miners, all companies, businesses, and stakeholders in the gold trade to adhere strictly to the provisions governing gold trade in Ghana. Our task force have been deployed, and they will enforce the law without fear or favor. Your political affiliations will not save you. So when you are arrested, you can't say, I am an NDC constituency chairman, or Sabi Jemfi is my friend. They will enforce the law no matter who you are. Even if John Mahama is your father, they will enforce the law. Because John Mahama, His Excellency, President of the Republic, has given us his full support to do this work in the interest of our nation. And we will not succumb to any pressure or interference from any office. So make sure that you are complying with the terms and conditions of your license, which is that you buy gold only when you have a license, and you sell gold only when you have a license. And you make sure that you sell gold only to licensed traders of the Gold Board. The licensed traders of the Gold Board who buy that gold must deliver the gold to the licensed aggregator of the Gold Board for all delivery to the Gold Board. If you sell gold to a foreigner, you've committed a crime, and it doesn't matter how long you hide, your sins will find you out, like the sins of these people have found them out. Also, you must ensure as a gold trader that for every gold transaction you do, you issue the official approved Gold Board receipt. That you do that transaction at the approved price of gold by the gold board. Any violations of these important conditions of your license will not only lead to the suspension or revocation of your license, but may lead to a fine or your arrest and criminal prosecution. So take note. You can't say that I'm sorry. The grace period is over. We've pampered you enough. Now, when you are arrested, you can't say, "Oh, I didn't know. I didn't have enough receipt booklets. I've run out of booklets." And all. It is your responsibility to make sure that every good transaction you're engaging in is backed by an approved gold board receipt. And where there is no receipt, both the seller and the buyer are all guilty. So if you're selling gold, insist on the buyer giving you a receipt. And if you're buying gold, insist on issuing the receipt and make sure that all the duplicate receipts are there for inspection by officials of the Ghana Gold Board. With these few words, I would like to thank you, our friends from the media, for coming. And it is our hope that through your various esteemed platforms, this critical information we have shared with you will reach the people of Ghana and the general public as a whole. And we are really counting on whistleblowers, patriotic Ghanaians who have information about these 4 suspects at large. Kindly share the information with us so that we can bring them to justice. Thank you once again. At this stage, if you have any questions, you can ask your questions. If you don't have any questions, you can call it a day. Do you have any questions? Yeah.
Please,
P stations, eh? Wow. Okay.
Please, my name is Evelyn Tengwa. I work for TV3. And so you mentioned that you've arrested some people in the past and they are aiding in investigations. So I quite remember, I think somewhere in July, I stand to be corrected, somewhere in July, something
courts, specifically the circuit courts, is being heard per the brief I have for about 8 times. So it is a matter that we are prosecuting. As we assured you, we are going to pursue the matter to its logical conclusion. We are not going to deport any of them, but we are going to prosecute them and, if found liable, convicted and sentenced to prison. And we are just doing that. But you know that the wheels of justice, like Professor Mills of Blessed Memory once said, grind slowly, but surely get to their destination. And so we are going through the legal process. Very soon, the actual trial will commence. And in fact, they are still in custody as I speak to you. They've not been released. They are still in custody. They were given bail. They couldn't meet the terms and conditions. They went to court and succeeded in getting the terms and conditions to be varied. We are yet to be briefed by national security, who are holding them as to whether or not any of them have since met those conditions. But the case prosecuted whether or not they are on bail. Any other question?
Yeah,
That's a very important question, and we agree with you absolutely that it will really serve the nation well if we had a special court dealing with gold-related offenses, like we have, I think, in relation to SNET, and we have in connection to tax-related offenses. It will really help because, well, somebody said the law is the law, but sometimes our courts become a bit, if you like, slow. We all can agree on that. And so it can sometimes be frustrating for prosecutors. But that is the system we have now. And we we agree with you that if we had a special court dedicated for the prosecution of road-related offences, we would really serve the nation well. And we've already started a conversation. The first is for us to get a fiat as Gold Board to be able to prosecute our own road-related offences cases. And we've written to the Attorney General. He's indicated that he's happy to grant us that fiat. And we're optimistic that in the next few weeks, that process will be completed for us to have our own fiat that allows us to prosecute our own cases with our own prosecutors. That will fast track the way we are able to deal with these cases, in our opinion. And the second thing is that once that is done, can we explore the possibility of getting a special court? It's the conversation we'll have with Attorney General for him to take it up with the Chief Justice, who has the power to grant such dispensations. We are hopeful that that will be done.
A little later. You know this cartel also commands millions.
If the money is small, you can will negotiate, you will answer. But for now, the offer is 1 million. We are open to discuss that further if you have information, because we believe that somebody somewhere has information about their whereabouts. And please, you don't have to be a Ghanaian to give us information, whether foreigner, any, no matter who you are. Once you have useful information that can lead to their arrest, kindly share that, and we will reward you bountifully. Okay, I think that I'll do a very quick summary. I'll try to do a very quick summary of the process of that kind of stations. See, I was for a framework in your body. Said you wouldn't know Ghana Gold Board. You do about one, Pini Mahama, and a Ghana Bra at Yasha and Sunset. Pabone for more titi amra so far kwati kwan so to sika kokko e di free ma yimu kwan bone so a ye nya so mfa so no ti betumi atichi omu nyina na ye de ma fa ma fa so na sa nya ma bone omu ye de say oman no e di oman ni nya no yetimi etu ase I don't need afraid of gold smuggling and say illegal trade. I don't see my baby afọ ama gold board to me say Bibiara or you go the maybe auto and our water. I will need to be cut out from good board and man of us. I was eating the children in the farm house. Bibia so you been dance said, auto gold. And if fat your border sees where look bone to go border you saw the farmer on the cotton or export through and black panson. Yamma so Jumano, some trophy if it has any more than I. Mbra bet you Bibia no your bomber there. Said the Baya, ye be also moving to Magana for and yet mediation. Nagana for a war information. I bet me a boa made me a dim near Dinkuni. I was a queen. Also, so let's me this information. The name framework. Now, the other 2 minutes said, and chair your cry and Unyamiado, yes, I saw Nipaboni Fubia. Yahwehwɛ ɔmo akyɛ yɛte sɛ ɔmo ne aborɔfo bi edi kasobom ɛtɔ gold ɛsomɔgo fie ɛma mu akɔtɔn a ɛho aburokyire sika no ɛma ɔman ne mu ɛma yɛtumi fa nyɛ ɔman Ghana yie Ghana ni bi a ɔdɔ ne man ɛna ɛde saa information yi ma yɛ ɛnam so ma yɛn nsa ɛkɔkye itimi koche abrante ba kwa friend Abdul Razaka na chese ono ena yasoma no say on 27th or 26th August no goji go for catch bi a ono gold board am the lines say on to go and farm gold board if you want na be dam pai say sa catch na your friend Bernard Nkrumah the business name NK Benak Enterprise takwa ena odi djumedi no One Abrofia from Rafmo Gold Limited. Open pa
the one friend is Salam, but the Dia and Wokrata Mohammed Nandoli Rafik. And as Salam, ye will be my four, maybe be a Ghana for this way India for. My phone being a Mohammed Asfar Butalan, Bakoso Naya Abdul Karim, Bakoso ye Sadiq Abubakar, Makra Bakoso Naya Ribiya. Mona yes every just said Omudisika through Mumu Emma Sabena the Pume no potato good na good board the airpe aqua bridge aqua tongue I didn't sika Bama Bank of Ghana and Jessica dollars and the ammo moko council fine and the city and yam one then Omodio Musid Omoba Smogo Bema India for na just a Ghana city the new was could you not say Yama boy because dollar cosra? A young coffee munae, you ya, dollar nange, the bay of my knee, or whom $1 the bebo mine of possible in the Franco. And your my you may acha, you wish you were my own set. Bear was swimming, no swimming in San Good or my piano from Guano, about 100 kilograms of gold. That is over $10 million. That is over 100 million. New Ghana cedis. For the quantity sika mu dia ne tese sika bebre. Na that is 10.2 million Ghana cedis, equivalent to 100 billion old Ghana cedis. Enti ehwemu na kudu pempenso bi a etimi achechechecheche omu bi na ye bi omo akọ court remand bi omo be na watwe bi ye to so court am omo be but omo da so etwe na ban kuku bi sanse bill no share time on omuntumi emiti but saa nipa ye hwehwe omo for saa body kese we no omo be 9 dia omo de omo waka wura esi na incentive so omo fo ni ni ku TV so Salam the one friend Salam and the leaders of the Mohammed Nandoli Rafik, Sadiq Abubakar Abdul Karim and Mohammed Afsar Pitala. Na ene framework na sremo se mo be ma information akwa bonte no bia TV se safoi o di oni kese o Ghana Police Service and go board for your show it wa wo information bia no let's say we ma yesa kan yeti achi o ya chi o mo wa o ma information ni pa ba ko bia ye be chi bia no ye be dawas Ghana sika 1 million cedis 10 billion old Ghana cedis. Nipa ba could be a boy, whereby I may actually be a Osika at the better was. It's near frame one, not the over the other. Yes, say, wow, information. Yes, I'll feel maybe about me, and there's almost a sister. Large for now, only a black market issues, no more company. Or more, you go smuggling into information. Na medium, one man, yes, Saka. I have first Konya with also the all gold traders. One more license from gold board. They said, we need to have a suit. More gold board in the bank. I don't know about 5 years. I want to go this one for making sure that we issue gold board receipts. Now, why you be the account? To go now for the Ghana buy. Go good, Nanya Wadia. Ghana Mrasi good no. Shas has been a Ghana food in India. And I didn't to me, I'm a Ghana man, is a professor. And a Ghana man, penny up only be a mamma, mutu is a muntu. Now, by say, Mutu, and I in idea, but Tom, I need free, you to our cat. The boy I did on the sort of the whole world open cry. We go to Boya Pa, good boy. Ghana, yeah, number 1. A mouth apple papa. 80. Didn't know if I go with my outback or my open, is a long fat. Now, if I would group, Nagana, Isicasa, Enjija, and Yamasa. So, we are, sir, we are so more. The end of a cabinia, 80. I found one party and I was here with free and a papa. Yeah, chill. So, what to go, one you receipt, and I want you shoe receipt, and run off and you'll be doing it. And they are framework, now you will win now. You're the winner, Master.